there was an interruption in the video, and so we'll start over again. This is Dr. Shilpi, and we're going to talk about carbon footprint today. And carbon footprint is the sole reason behind our destruction of our planet. And what is carbon footprint is what we're talking today. And it is the amount of greenhouse gases that we are releasing into the atmosphere, especially the carbon dioxide and the methane, which is causing a lot of pollution. And the process of releasing these things is called the carbon footprint. And when we have to talk about carbon footprint, it is present in every activity that you do on a daily basis. And when you even go to the grocery store, or you go to your work, whenever you're using modes of transport, especially the individual modes of transport, you're burning a lot of fossil fuel, and that is causing carbon dioxide emissions. And when you are consuming meat and dairy products, and these are also used these also use lots of carbon footprint. And then the most important aspect is the animal husbandry, especially when we grow animals for beef. So that is another major source of carbon footprint, and it releases lots and lots of methane. And tons and tons of carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, all these things are released on a regular basis by our day-to-day activities. So this amount of gases that are released into the atmosphere, and these gases, they go and form a layer in our atmosphere, and this layer causes lots and lots of problems because of global warming. And this layer is the one that is causing global warming, and global warming is causing melting of the ice caps and elevation of the sea level. And when we have this melting of the ice caps and elevation of the sea levels, along with these, as a part and parcel of global warming, we are having lots of issues, like unwanted rains, cyclones, earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, either droughts. So anything and everything in a severe form is impacting the whole planet. When we have to talk about impact on the whole planet, and the source of the problem is the human behavior, definitely we have to think in terms of avoiding these kind of problems. And one foot forward, every person can have one foot forward, and try to find a solution for small things that really impact and change the way we behave. And all these greenhouse gases that are released definitely are going to have a long term impact. The planet is for everybody, and now we have issues that for our kids future, what are we going to do? It is not about accumulating wealth, or it is not about giving them education, whatever possible. It is possible only if we survive this catastrophic event. So it is important to parallelly run through a system that will definitely, address to this global warming problem. So this entire month, I want to concentrate on how small things can change the environment, how sustainable living can improve your quality of life, and also add to the menace that we are creating to global warming, and how to solve these things. And when you have to calculate carbon footprint that we are doing, or an individual basis, on a household basis, I'll give you a very small example. If we take the train for 1 kilometer, that's the public transport, for example. And every kilometer there is 0.059 4 kgs of carbon dioxide emission that happens for a kilometer travel. So in that way, whenever you're commuting through your own vehicles, just imagine the amount of carbon dioxide emission that you're causing. So wherever possible, if you can use public transport. Now it's COVID, it's difficult, I understand, but then uh, greenhouse gas emission hasn't cut down anyways. But if you can think in such concept, small distances try to walk, small distances try to cycle to work, small distances do not take larger vehicles, try to negotiate and use smaller vehicles. And you whenever you have multiple works, then try to figure out and take the vehicle out. And even at your house, you should definitely think about renewable energy wherever possible. Try to put in solar. Solar energy is not toxic, and it is quite human friendly. So wherever possible, you should look into solar energy forms and using solar energy. Not only this, whenever you are using electricity, make sure you are really if you're using it when you need only. Just don't put all the lights on and just leave it on. Necessity, use the amount of electricity that you're using. And whenever you're not using it, make sure that they are all switched off. And use gadgets or anything that give you lesser amount of burning of the power, and which last longer. So sustainable forms, and we call them as energy efficient gadgets. So it makes sense that when we use energy efficient gadgets, it is going to have an impact on the environment. And there is a concept when larger companies have to show some kind of a energy efficiency in their social aspect. When they are using so much of power, when they are using so much of energy for their daily activities, they have to adopt plants, and they have to show a source where they are kind of balancing this activity. So that's why there are companies who sponsor for the plants that we sow, and they even sponsor for the growth of those plants, and they get that plant renewable energy, that kind of oxygen that the plants release in the form of carbon footprint points, and then they balance it with their working atmosphere that they are doing. So these kind of balancing activities will definitely help in the long run. Especially solar is one of the renewable forms of energy. And they even companies invest on planting trees, and also invest on renewable solar energy like windmills and all that. So these kind of things are calculated as buying of carbon footprint, and they even balance the kind of damage that they are doing. And it is very important in the current scenario to decrease the carbon footprint by buying vehicles which are energy efficient, especially the current ones that are running on power, especially when you have now that uh, the diesel and petrol and all are going to burn and give you lots and lots of carbon emissions. The electric vehicles are definitely helpful, and especially when you can produce your own electricity by solar. That is another very good form of generating electricity and using it, in fact, for your own power of the car that you are going to run as an electric vehicle. So this is another very beneficial effect that we're going to do in the long run. And wherever possible, now it's COVID, but yes, when COVID is off, when you can take care of yourself, if you use public transport, definitely you are going to add some kind of a energy efficiency, and you will decrease the carbon footprint. And especially you should concentrate on improving the ventilation and insulation of your houses. If the insulation mechanism is good of a house and ventilation is adequate, you would not spend much on cooling the house or air conditioners or general appliances like fans and cooling appliances and all that. So it is really important to consider these things and take every small step forward to take it in a very small way to save our planet. And and uh, you know uh, especially when you are talking about food, and food is one thing that it is universal and everybody's need, but if you can really take care of food that is locally available, locally sourced, grown by local farmers, and encourage local foods, definitely you can cut down on carbon footprint that is coming from various other countries into India. Especially if you can have bananas that are grown locally, or if you can have the berries that are grown locally, if you can have local fruits that are grown in and around your surroundings, instead of eating kiwis, or instead of eating Washington apples, and instead of eating fruits that come from other countries, if you can eat fruits that are locally grown, especially guavas, papayas, all these things are quite locally grown. And if you can encourage such a process, definitely we can decrease the carbon footprint that comes by investing on foods that are coming from outside. So these are very important and small things, very small things that you think that is not uh, maybe it's not making a difference, does make a difference in the long run. And when we have to talk about burning of coal, or burning of crude oil or anything, those are the ones that are in fact causing lots and lots of uh, impact on global warming, and increasing the carbon footprint. And when we have to talk about, as I have told you, in animal husbandry, when we have to talk about growing animals for the sake of meat, especially the beef component, that is one of the leading causes of release of methane and global warming. So wherever possible, if you can replace meat with vegan food options, like what I spoke about, the jackfruit, the tender jackfruit meat, the tempeh that is available nowadays, and the soya products and soya nuggets that are available, they just taste like meat but are vegan options. Such things will definitely impact a lot more on global warming. And it has to be universal, and it has to be in the long run a very much thing that has to be followed regularly. And especially when countries have come forward and adopted veganism in view of increase in global warming and release of a lot of carbon footprint. So definitely you have to have a thought. A small change can bring lots and lots of positive things in future. And uh, you know uh, there are certain countries which give lots and lots of carbon footprint, like China. China is one of the largest carbon footprint releaser of the world. And there are a couple of countries which have the least carbon footprint. uh, if we have to talk about those countries, I think I have the name of those. Yeah, it's a Canadian country. No, I think, yeah, East Timor in East Asia is one of the lowest. So East Timor in East Asia is one of the lowest carbon footprint generator, and Eritrea in East Africa is one of the lowest um, a carbon footprint generator. So we have to take some kind of a step ahead and think about how to decrease the carbon footprint. And all this concept came when in 1990 a Canadian ecologist, William Rees, and a Swiss born person, Matthias Ballinger, came a concept with this carbon footprint and global warming. And ever since then, there are so many discoveries, and on a daily basis, uh, you know, uh, things that what we can change to avoid global warming. And this whole month, we would be doing some kind of an activity on a daily basis, either in terms of food, either in terms of activity, either in terms of some kind of an information that really really impacts one's view towards global warming, and also how to prevent global warming. And today, it's a very good take home message, because we have to think about global warming and act as soon as possible, before it's too late. And when we're talking about such things, it is important that we understand the concept and take it forward. Maybe a small change, but a small change in everybody's perspective and everybody's life will give lots and lots of change that has to come forward. And today's take home message is proper insulation of homes to prevent running of air conditions, and lot of power consumption and release of carbon dioxide and methane gases, and switch to renewable energy sources, especially the solar power, the windmill power. All these things definitely help you on the long run. And buy energy efficient appliances, energy efficient bulbs, or energy efficient tools that will burn less amount of power, and use less water wherever possible, so that is another source of problem. And turn off the lights whenever you're not needing them, and eat only that much that is required, and eat only that is sourced locally, so that carbon footprint is less. And if possible, you can cycle to work, and small grocery shoppings, go walking, so that it helps you improve your health and also takes care of the global warming aspect. And always consider to reduce plastic usage, use recyclable materials, and also consider reusing of things again and again. And instead of using single use plastics, which is definitely a burden on our planet, you you should use recyclable, reusable, and renewable sources of products. And the message is very clear: stop food wastage, and ditch plastic, very clear. And have most likely possible plant-based proteins, decrease meat intake, and increase fiber-rich food that keeps you full, and you don't try to eat again and again. That's really really important. If possible, as I have told you the whole of last month, grow your own produce, whatever possible. Even small amounts of things like a kitchen garden, small green leafy vegetables, all these things make a lot of impact and change in the long run. You can grow your own tomatoes, you can grow your own lemons, you can grow your own chilies, and green leafy vegetables, your spicy your the mint, coriander, and all these things. And it's easy also. And you if you grow your own thing, you will decrease along in the long run the carbon footprint. And do not eat excess, because the amount of excess food goes not only takes a toll on your health, is leading to obesity, and the amount of food that you eat extra doesn't even help you in any way, and it also increases the carbon footprint. And try to purchase local food. Try always concentrating on local. And it's very very important that in the long run it helps you uh, for a sustainable living. And this is all about carbon footprint and how we can decrease carbon footprint. And a small change, a very small change in everybody's daily routine, maybe walking down to work, or cutting down on spaces on maintenance and all these things can definitely help you. So this is all about carbon footprint and how we can save our planet in the long run. This whole month we will have some kind of an activity linking to this, and taking this forward definitely will help you and save our planet. Thank you.